Do you want to be featured on KG School?
KG School.
Hello and welcome back to Catchy School. I know it has been a while since I created a nice lengthy tutorial video on my YouTube channel, and I absolutely wanted to create one before we close 2020. So today I am of course creating a New Year card, but what is special about this card is that it is an interactive card. This is called the Shutter card and it is created using the Lawn Fawn Shutter card die. The interactive and the fun part of this card is that when the recipient opens the card, the shutter mechanism opens to reveal a message, or as in my card, a cute blue yeti. So first let's see the dies and stamps that will be used to create this card. They are the Lawn Fawn Shutter card die as mentioned earlier, the Lawn Fawn Frosty Fairy Friends, and of course the Yeti or Not stamp set. The first step to make this card is to die cut all the key pieces of the shutter mechanism. And to die cut, I first need to separate all the pieces. I am using a wire cutter for this process because it makes it super easy, but one can also use their fingers to twist and turn and unlink the dies. I am die cutting from some Neenah 80-pound cardstock. All the stamping and die cutting will be done on the same paper. Once we die cut the largest piece, you will see it creates a few additional score lines and tiny engraved marks. We will see their significance further in the video. Now I am die cutting the shutters. For this, use the die that looks like a M and die cut twice for two identical pieces. These will be the two shutter pieces that open and close in the center of the card. For the center circle window panel, die cut the largest piece again. One will be the body of the card and the other we will chop down to make the center panel. I am using my Tonic Studios 8.5 inches Kiloton trimmer. Now we don't have to trim at the score lines, but line up the edge of the tabs with the blade of your trimmer and then chop off the excess. This needs to be repeated for both sides. The approximate width of this piece will be around 2.5 inches. After trimming off the sides, we also need to chop off the tabs from the top and the bottom. What should remain with us at the end is a rectangular piece of the size 2.5 inches by 5 inches. Now we have to cut out that circle window. This die set has a funny L piece which is not for die cutting or scoring but a placement die. Line up the L piece with the top right corner of the paper as shown in the video. The curved edge of this placement die will help us line up the circle die perfectly in the center. Once the circle die is secured, we can remove our placement die and run our arrangement through the die cutting machine. Hold on to that circle die cut as we will be using it again in the same card. Now that all the shutter pieces have been die cut, we will add some color and life into them. I have pulled out various dye inks here, but I'm not really going to use all of them. Rather, I shouldn't have used all of them. Let's see what happens. I am going to first start with Wilted Violet Distress ink. My plan is to ink the entire top half of the cardstock with this Wilted Violet color. The next two steps were a small flop show. I tried blending the Mudra My Fuchsia dye ink, but they did not really blend with Wilted Violet. But I'm going to create a fuchsia band right below Wilted Violet. I tried covering this with the Lawn Fawn Fresh Lavender dye ink, but it did not really help either. But while I was creating all this mess, I had a new perspective in mind. And the new perspective was to add fuchsia pink all over Wilted Violet. And I started loving this combination. another layer of wilted violet to bring everything together. I'm using Mudra Mai Jet Black dye ink as well, but in small clumps to create a galaxy look. I am adding black with a very light hand and tapping my brush before I get directly on paper. To show a gradient at the bottom, I used wilted violet again and used my blender brush in a stippling fashion. By the way, these blender brushes are from Craftangles and you can find the link to all the supplies in the description box down below. Repeating the same process for all the other pieces. These die cuts are saturated with dye ink, so I am going to dry them before I work further on them. They do curl up excessively with the heat, but putting them under a heavy book will flatten them out. Till my pieces are flattening out, I colored my characters and elements. Now I will not show you the coloring process, but if you do wish to see it, you can go to my Instagram handle Kenchi School to see how I colored them out. These are super short 30-second videos, rather reels, which are really fun to watch. My die cuts have all flattened out and it's time to start working on them. To make sure they are completely dry, I will test them by pouring some embossing powder onto it. From the Yeti or Not stamp set, I'm going to use the two tiny stars. Before any stamping, do not forget to prep your paper with some anti-static. This helps the embossing powder to not stick to any unwanted places. I am stamping my stars with my Versamark ink. And I will heat set it with Lawn Fawn gold embossing powder. I will also add some tiny snowflakes from both the stamp sets. Stamping them again with Versamark embossing ink, which is basically a sticky ink. And I will heat set the snowflakes with Ranger white embossing powder. I repeated the same process for all the other die cuts and I also added a few white paint splatters. I used the Creative Expressions Stitched Hills and Clouds die to create the ice banks for my card scene. I have die cut the large piece again from some peach colored cardstock and I will use it further on the outer side of my card. I will chop off all the tabs and discard them and further trim along the score lines and save all the 3 pieces. I will secure the score lines again since there is an additional layer of cardstock. Remember those engraves created at the beginning? Well, we need to line up our shutter tabs with those engraved lines. I'm adding some strong adhesive on the flaps, laying it flat next to the scored line, all aligned with those engraves. Now fold over the door of the card to stick. When you fold over that door, the exposed sticky back will stick to the door and you'll get a perfectly aligned shutter flaps. Repeat the same process on the other side as well. Now we have to add the center window panel. This is relatively easier than the shutter flaps. Add your strong adhesive on the little tabs created. Align your center window panel with the center window with that tab and stick it on one side. Now, before you stick the center panel onto the other side, we have a tricky step to pay attention to. The one and only tricky step in making this card is placement of the shutters. Let's concentrate on the top flaps. Here, the right flap will lay over the left flap. Now at the bottom, we have to do the exact opposite. That is, the left flap will lay over the right flap. Now this arrangement is not mandatory. We can also do the vice versa. Just remember the arrangements need to be opposite at the top and bottom. Once this is in place, stick the center panel to the other tab. And we have the working shutter mechanism. Play with it a few times to make it smooth enough. Don't play too much. Let's start sticking all the characters and elements. We will put our Yeti with the eye gear in the middle of the shutters. Before sticking all the remaining characters and elements, I am going to stick the peach panels on the outside of the card to cover all the ink bleeding. For the sentiment I am going for have a really cool new year plus exclamation mark. Now I am going to start adding all the other characters and elements inside my card. I wanted to add a snowflake in one of the fairies' hands. I stamped it with Mermaid Lagoon oxide ink, cut it out and stuck it in the fairy's hands. Remember the circle die we held on to earlier? I stamped a fairy on it and now I am creating a similar background as the remaining card. I also added a snowflake in her hands. Now the shutter card die also come with additional dies to create a belly band and decorate the front panels of the card. They both are rectangular pieces with stitching details. The one for the belly band creates additional flaps. I die cut both these pieces from some remaining scrap pattern paper. Now, as you see, my shutter card is pretty loaded, and I don't want my belly band to fail because of the thickness of my card. Hence, I am using a strong adhesive on the flaps again. Finally, sticking the fairy circle die cut with some foam adhesive as the buckle of my belly band. On my front panel, I am going to add some more snowflakes with wilted violet oxide ink cause it was looking too bare. I'm adding some Nuvo drops and glitter on my fairy to give more dimension and texture. And that completes the card for today. Also, this is the last card that will be posted by me for 2020. Hope you enjoyed it and do let me know your favorite part in the comment section down below. If you're wondering where to write the message for this card, then you can write it at the back over here. Like, share, comment and subscribe if you enjoy watching my videos. For some daily crafty fun, you can follow me on Instagram. My handle name is kenchi.school. I also have an InstaMojo store and the link for it will be down in the description box along with all the social media links. To be notified whenever I upload a card making tutorial or a crafty mega haul, hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button. On your screen you may find some other videos which you may enjoy. Wish you a 2020 that is full of love, peace and good health along with lots of happy memories. Bye!